I'm Dani K. White. I am the author of Decluttering at the Speed of Life, How to Manage Your Home Without Losing Your Mind. I'm the creator of the No Mess Decluttering Process. And let's talk about out of routine times, because it is the beginning of, for a lot of people, the holiday season, right? So whether or not you have already decorated or whether you're about to decorate, I'm going to give you some of my strategies for keeping the house under control when it feels like life is bananas. Okay, just want to let you know, Take Your House Back is on sale right now. This is the perfect time to buy it. You'll have it for the big excitement over decluttering that everyone experiences in January. Don't worry about that right now, but go ahead and grab it. Go to aslobcomesclean.com/take. The link is in the description of this video. Okay, so my number one strategy for keeping the house under control during out of routine times is to focus on the task over the time when you usually do the task, right? Some years in December, it feels like we have weeks where we have something every single night that week, right? And so there is no normal that happens at this time of year. So really zeroing in on what are the things that have to be done. You know what I'm going to say, right? Dishes. And what I mean by focusing on the task instead of the time when you do the task is in the midst of the frazzle, you're going to have moments where you're like, oh my goodness, zero in on, okay, I'm just going to do the dishes. Whenever I get a chance to do the dishes, I'm going to do the dishes, because you may not have the normal routine in the evenings or the mornings or whenever you happen to do them to get those done to naturally remind you. So zero in on those tasks. Dishes, 5-minute pickups, laundry. We're going to talk about 5-minute pickups a little bit more here in a minute. But those things that are the key tasks that if they get skipped, everything grinds to a halt. Those are the ones to zero in on, okay? And then look for times in the midst of the bananas times to stick them in, okay? So where you normally might be doing your dishes after dinner, or, you have dinner and then you watch a show as a family, you talk, and then you get up and do the dishes, however you like to do them. I don't care, right? But don't let that time not existing or not looking the way that it normally looks be the thing that throws you off. Instead, just say, I'm going to do the dishes at some point, if I possibly can, every day. Okay, so zero in on the task over the time when you do the task. Here's my favorite strategy for getting through times like this. Experiment with simplicity. Okay, now this experimental mindset is really important. So it's not just experiment with simplicity. No, it's change my mindset and go, you know what? I'm going to use this time that is out of routine, that is a little bit wild, right? And therefore can be kind of frustrating, even though it's wonderful, right? I'm going to use this time to experiment. Experimenting means that I don't have an exact way that things are supposed to go. I am not necessarily achieving something with an experiment. I'm trying something with an experiment. So here's what I mean. If you have special Christmas dishes, here are some that my aunt just gave me. I'm super excited to use these this year. Experiment with only using those Christmas dishes during this holiday season, right? Like, even if you have already decorated and you have Christmas dishes out and they are with your other dishes, great. Just play the little game in your head. And I don't mean trick yourself, but play the little game of, we're going to try to use these every single meal as a way for me to enjoy them, but also as a way for me to keep things under control simply through simplicity. Having fewer dishes naturally keeps the kitchen under control. It's bizarre, but it is so true. If there are only a finite kind of small number of dishes that can possibly get dirty, then it's impossible for the kitchen to get completely out of control. And so even if you haven't packed away the other ones, but you are just playing this game, doing an experiment to see, can we use just these dishes? You may not have Christmas dishes, right? But experiment with simplicity. Say, okay, this is my skillet I'm using for December. This is the one. I'm going to play a little game with myself and see if I can only cook with this one skillet. Here's the thing. Those of us who struggle with clutter don't struggle with creativity. We tend to be, sorry, it's actually August as I'm recording this. We tend to be highly creative people. Giving myself permission to experiment with simplicity in this way scratches my creativity itch. Like, it helps me be resourceful, and I strangely enjoy it. I mean, I've shared with y'all before, when I go to an Airbnb to write books, because that's what I have to do for my brain, my whole goal is to only use one coffee cup the entire time that I'm there. I use it for everything. I use it for cereal in the morning or oatmeal, my coffee, not all at the same time, right? Soup for lunch, ice cream in the evening, right? Like, that challenge that I'm giving myself scratches that resourcefulness, creativity itch that I have. So it's kind of a fun game. One of the things that I do every year, even though we have quite a few Christmas mugs, because my husband loves mugs, and we put the Christmas mugs out and we pack up the ones that are used the rest of the year and pack them away where we put our Christmas decorations the rest of the year. Actually in the same exact box. But I have a favorite Christmas mug, and I just play a little game with myself of trying to use only that mug. And there is something about using only that mug that helps me stay on top of things like the dishes, right? Because if I'm going to use it, it has to be clean. And you know what I don't want to do is to scrub it out every single morning. And so keeping up with my dishes routine, I am motivated to do that because of this experimentation with simplicity that I'm doing. Okay. So having that mindset can be extremely powerful during this time of year. Another way that you can do this, and my husband, I wouldn't say that he is experimenting with simplicity necessarily, but he loves ties. He wears ties to work. He has Christmas ties, and he exclusively wears Christmas ties in December. If you have a couple of Christmas outfits, that would be an idea for an experiment. Try to only wear red or Christmas outfits or whatever, partly to get a lot of use out of that item that doesn't get used any other time of the year, but also limiting what you use greatly reduces the amount of maintenance that you have to do. Okay. So it's a fun thing. And then what you learn from that is going to then transfer into how you see your home and your stuff and how much you need. I know for me, the first year that I had started trying to get my house under control, and then it was summertime and I was so scared of the out of the routine time of summer, I packed away everything except for 8 outfits for each kid, because I was like, I'm going to do laundry once a week. I have one extra for who knows what, right? But I am going to limit it to this. And not only did it make that summer easier, it completely changed my perspective on how many clothes we need and how much easier it was to live with fewer clothes to have to manage. And then, like I said, we're going to talk about the 5-minute pickup one more time. The 5-minute pickup is the thing that will get and keep any space under control. It's strange. I know you may not believe me, but if you have resisted the 5-minute pickup in the past because you're like, 5 minutes won't make a difference, use the natural franticness of this season to say, okay, I'm just going to do the 5 minutes. She says it'll make a difference. That's basically all I have. I'm just going to do the 5 minutes. Experiment with it. It's very powerful, especially if you will really focus on your living spaces, because I used to get so frustrated because my picture of what the holidays were going to look like with my house decorated and the fun things going on did not match my reality because of the mess, right? So a 5-minute pickup, especially focused in those main living areas, will take you so far, and it will help you get used to and learn some things that are going to serve you going into the new year. And then last of all, if you decide to declutter, use the no mess process. Use my 5-step no mess process. Listen to Decluttering at the Speed of Life while you work. Get the printable at aslobcomesclean.com/5 of the 5 steps. Follow those. Use the no mess process. Practice the take it there now, because life is so extra hectic and extra unpredictable at this time of year. You need to not get yourself into a situation where you can't stop, right? Because you're gonna have to stop. That's the reality of this time of year. Practice that. Use that strategy. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look for the links in the description of this video, and I will link you to a demonstration of that process, okay? But I highly encourage you to really stick to that process if you're going to declutter, so you don't get yourself in a situation where your house is an extra messy space and you can't enjoy the holidays. Okay, just a reminder, Take Your House Back is on sale. Go grab it and have that. You don't even have to go through it right now, but you'll have it to go into the new year taking your house back. Go to aslobcomesclean.com/take to get it on sale. All right, I will talk to you later. Bye.